Today, I want to talk about something that is very often overlooked, but is incredibly powerful, especially for women who are on a journey of self-growth and embodiment, and also in a day and age where we are constantly fixing ourselves to show up online. And of course, I'm guilty of this in some ways. So as always, I'm speaking from a place of experience. And also, I am constantly refining myself and fine-tuning myself. So what I'm sharing has been helpful for me in learning how to hold my own energy with confidence and discernment. This is for women who are ready to reclaim their presence and their privacy, and as a result of that, reclaim their power. Let's talk about the art of honoring your feminine mystique and how doing so can help you feel more grounded, more magnetic, and more alive in your everyday life. Here's what I need you to know first. There is beauty in the unseen, and there's wisdom in having restraint. There's something to be said about a woman whose energy whispers, in the way that her presence lingers and people can feel her even when she's not in the room, or even after a conversation that stays on someone's mind for hours. This is the power of the feminine mystique. And in many ways, I feel that this is a lost art, especially because of social media. We're taught practically to expose everything, to overshare, to prove, to perform, to post, to explain, to announce everything, to defend ourselves, to be constantly be seen, to be validated. And honestly, some of y'all are not gonna like this, but you don't have to share everything. You're allowed to keep parts of yourself to yourself. Keep them sacred. When you intentionally choose not to reveal certain parts of yourself, when you choose to hold back, to observe, to let your story unfold slowly, you're reclaiming your sovereignty. Sovereignty over your body, over your energy, your story, your emotions, your sensuality, your softness. There's something so divine in having discretion. There's a spiritual depth in that silence. And there really is an elegance in allowing your energy to speak louder than your words. Just think about the parts of yourself that feel the most delicate, the most raw, the most beautiful. Aren't those the same parts of yourself that feel the most sacred? When you choose not to offer those up casually, to be consumed by everyone, you give them space to root deeply within you. And that inner rooting, that's what begins to feed your intuition, your creativity, and your self-trust. That is the beginning of embodiment. The feminine mystique is being so in your truth, being in your truth so fully that you don't need to explain it. It's the way that your gaze lingers without explanation. It's the way that you don't rush to fill silence with words just to soothe discomfort. It's the way that you let others wonder about you rather than rushing to clarify and explain yourself. It's that pause before you answer, the stillness that doesn't need to perform for anyone. There's a reason why ancient priestesses and mystics and wise women were both revered and feared at the same time. It's because they held the knowledge of the unseen. They were the gatekeepers of the unspoken. They knew the power of keeping certain truths wrapped in silence, only revealing themselves to those who had earned the right to witness them. This was deep devotion to themselves, to the divine, and to their sacred path. So the challenge here, in a time where everything is on display, is to choose discernment, to protect your mystery, to move in silence when you need to. That is the most radical act of self-love. So I want you to really ask yourself these questions. What parts of yourself have you been giving away too freely? What are you ready to call back to yourself right now? And where can you deepen the intimacy that you have for yourself before extending it to anyone else? Feminine embodiment begins with what you protect and what you preserve within yourself. Let me say this clearly. The sacred feminine does not rush to be understood. She allows herself to be felt, to be sensed, to be known in layers, slowly over time. That is your mystique. That is your power. So take your time. Let them wonder. Let your presence linger. Let your essence unfold. Don't be consumed. Allow yourself to really be honored. Protect your mystery. This is where your magnetism lives. If this message stirred something in you, let it settle. Maybe come back to it again. And if you feel called, subscribe, comment below, share this video with a sister or a friend who needs this reminder. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time.